What's up, YouTube? This is True Raw for TV. Before I get into this video, I want to remind you guys, as always, if you're looking and watching this video, you haven't subscribed to True Raw for TV, please subscribe to True Raw for TV. If you haven't hit that notification bell, please hit that notification bell so that you'll be notified of a video of mine as soon as it drops. And also, if you like or at least appreciate the content that I put on this channel, please hit the like button. These are things that will help not only my channel, but other channels in the LDBC that you are subscribed to. Hopefully, you're subscribed to other channels in the LDBC, and these things will make our channels that much bigger, better, and stronger on YouTube. Now, I'm a little bit pissed off that my Bills are about to lose to the Eagles. We're down 31-13 last I saw it. We're going to go down to 5-2. And I know some people are like, well, man, y'all still 5-2. Yeah, but I've seen this story before, man. You know, we lose a game, then we'll come back and win, then we'll lose 3 in a row, then win a game, then lose 4 in a row, and then we're out of the playoffs. So I already got that when is the other shoe going to drop feeling already. But back to the point of this video, right? And this is motivated by me because Klay Thompson recently appeared on TNT. And as we know, Klay Thompson is sidelined, reportedly possibly for the whole year. Maybe he might come back a little earlier than that, but we'll see. And basically, he and Charles Barkley had a discussion about the team's hopes for the playoffs this year. And Charles Barkley, coming into the season, thought that they might be able to battle for the 7th and 8th seed. And now he thinks they're not going to make the playoffs. He basically said because he doesn't think that there's going to be enough scoring. And that's a distinct possibility. I think there's other things too. And one of the reasons I want to say this before I forget is Steve Kerr. Shout out to Ticket TV. He says before, and I'm going to regurgitate something that Steve that Ticket has said before. This year, Steve Kerr actually has to coach. See, in the past, he has been able to just live off the fat of the labor of one Mark Jackson. You might argue about Mark Jackson's game planning and how he ran the offense, but he was the one that constructed this team. Steve Kerr was just able to tinker with certain things, he and other people in the coaching staff, and they was able to find the perfect formula for success. But Mark Jackson was the one that put this team together. And now he has to actually coach. And that's going to be a monumental task because you don't have that tremendous bench you had years ago with guys like Harrison Barnes, Andrea Barbosa, Martine Spites, that fucking bum Zaza Pachulia, the fake tough guy, want to be bully. You don't have Bogut out there anymore. You don't have David West. You know what I'm saying? You don't have these pieces that you had. Andre Iguodala is gone. All right? Sean Livingston retired this offseason. So many different pieces that they used to have. Shit, JaVale McGee had his moments with the Warriors. These guys are gone now. So you don't have a lot of that veteran presence on the bench. You have a bunch of young guys who haven't proven themselves yet. Maybe they might be something, but they're not proven. Okay? Emphasis also on the fact they don't have Andre Iguodala. That's a huge loss. Okay? I don't know whether or not his comments on that radio show had anything to do with him being traded, but, the Warriors are going to really feel his lack of presence now. And, of course, the biggest changeover is Kevin Durant's gone. Just Kevin Durant's 6'10" presence is going to be missed. I mean, these guys were able to create so much spacing. Him, Klay Thompson, Stephen Curry. Arguably, you had the three best shooters on one team. Now Kevin Durant's gone. Hopefully, he'll be back healthy for the 2021 season for the Brooklyn Nets. Klay Thompson's probably going to be gone for the whole year. Now Steve Kerr has to actually coach. And Steve Kerr to me seems like an easygoing type person. But Steve Kerr is going to have to be more of a he's going to have to be more of a leader, and he's going to have to push some guys outside their comfort zone for this team to have success. A lot of these guys are going to have to step up, and this team's going to need radical leadership. And Steve Kerr, I don't know if he's built like that. You know what I'm saying? Just judging from what I've read about him, what I've observed about him back in his TNT days as an analyst, he just doesn't seem like he's a nice guy. Don't get me wrong. He seems like the nicest guy in the world. But he seems more like a buddy type guy. And now he needs to be a coach. And I wonder if he can do that. I like Steve Kerr. I remember he was a Chicago Bull, man. I love me some Steve Kerr. But as a coach, I've never been completely sold that he's a very good one. I think he's adequate, but I don't think he's a great coach. But a lot of people are going to have to step up offensively. Steph Curry, we know what he's capable of doing. Yes, there are times in the finals when he doesn't step up. Yes, there are times when he misses certain shots that you would hope would go in. All right. But let's not take away the fact that this guy's a great scorer. All right. I want to say his career average is like close to 24 points a game or 23 points a game. But he's a great scorer. This year, they're going to need a lot more of Steph Curry. D'Angelo Russell's going to have to step up, too. Okay, he's going to have to. I think last year he averaged like 20, 21 points for the Brooklyn Nets. With Klay Thompson not there, he's going to have to average a lot more. He's going to have to put up like 23 points per game or somewhere in that range for this team to be successful. All right, at least 23 points per game for D'Angelo Russell for this team to have a shot at making the playoffs. But a lot of pressure is going to be on Stephen Curry to step up. Draymond Green, he's not a scorer. Okay, if he give you 13 points a game, that's something. He's just not a consistent scorer. That's not his game. Okay, that's another reason why I don't think he's a Hall of Famer. All this, if he was on a bad team, he put up Hall of Fame numbers is bullshit, man. You know what I'm saying? Draymond is Draymond. The scoring onus is going to have to be on Steph Curry, and this is where it gets tricky. Steph Curry is really going to have to produce this season at an extraordinary level for this team to make the playoffs. This is a different situation than what he's accustomed to. He doesn't have all these other fine offensive weapons around him for spacing. Defenses are going to have to key on him, and they're going to do that. And we saw that with the Clippers. I think right now they're playing the New Orleans Pelicans. I haven't looked at the game yet, but like I said in the video when I said I thought the Curry might lead the league in scoring, he still might. Okay, there's just a couple of games into the season. If you think about it, for one or two games last year, Blake Griffin was the leading scorer in the NBA. So, it's just early. But Curry's really going to have to stay healthy, which is possibly a problem that the Warriors might have to look at because, as we know now, Steph Curry is over the age of 30. And over the last few years, Curry is good to miss some games. You know what I'm saying? He misses anywhere between like 7 to 10 games a year, sometimes a little more than that due to various injuries. They can't afford that. And I think for them to make the playoffs, Curry's going to have to play more minutes, and Curry's going to have to deal with more physical defense than what he's accustomed to. I think what we saw in the finals with the Raptors is more of what we're going to see with defenses against Curry this year, and I hope that he physically can hold up to that. Um, he's not the biggest guy. Um, Curry has shown, and we have stated, we've heard me say this before. I thought if he played in the 1990s, he wouldn't be quite the same player. He still be a very good player, but I don't know whether he would be averaging 26 to 30 points per game in the 1990s, unless he was in a very special situation. Like I said, I think the closest comparison I can think of is Muldur. So they can't afford for Curry to get injured. You can't afford for Curry to get injured. And I think this season Curry's going to have to take something like at least 20. I think Curry's going to have to take like 23, 24 shots a game or something like that. I don't know. Can't really put a number on it, but he's going to have to take 20 something shots a game. And he's going to have to take a lot of threes. His shooting percentages are going to be down. I don't think he's going to be shooting close to 50% from the floor. I don't think he's going to be shooting 45% from three. I think his shooting percentages are going to be more like 45 and 40. All right. Um, but they're going to need him offensively. And I think he's going to have some great nights. A great shooter's always going to have some great nights. I think he's going to have some bad nights. But they're going to need a lot of Steph Curry, and they're going to need some other guys on the bench to step up when Steph Curry's not out there, not to blow some of these leads. But the thing I worry about the most with the Warriors is their now porous defense. A team, everybody was talking about the Warriors' offense, but at their best, they were a great defensive team. And Draymond Green is getting older. He doesn't seem to be quite the same defensive presence that he was in his best years in the mid 2000 teens. Um, Also, it's just they don't have the same pieces anymore. And this is where you miss Andre Iguodala. This is where you miss back in the day a guy like Barbosa. This is where you miss an inside presence like Bogut, and shit like that. So we're gonna see, man. We're gonna see how this team's gonna come out and play. But this has to be remembered. Last year, the Warriors won 57 games. Okay, that was first seed. The eighth seed won 48 games. The eighth seed, that was the Clippers. So there's only a 9-win differential between the first and the eighth seed, as opposed to the Eastern Conference, where the Bucks won 60 games and the eighth seed won 41 games. So it was a 19-game differential. If the Warriors were in the Eastern Conference, I'd be very confident of them being in the playoffs, barring some type of terrible injury to Curry. But in the competitive Western Conference, where you have the Clippers, you have the Lakers, you have the Rockets, you have the Utah Jazz. You know what I'm saying? You have all these other great teams out there. The Denver Nuggets, you have Portland. I'm not saying these teams are going to win a championship, but these are teams that you kind of can almost just lock in. Okay, yeah, they're going to the playoffs. Right there, I just named 5 or 6 teams. Then there's always these surprise teams. Then you always have Popovich's Spurs out there. I just don't know. You have the Dallas Mavericks out there. The rapist, Porzingis, is healthy. I'm just keeping it honest, man. I'm not totally sold that this team's going to make it to playoffs because I can easily see the Warriors only winning 43, 44 games. and not making it. You know, I think the AC this year, you're going to have to win at least 45 games. That's just a guess in my head. About 45 games to make it into the East, to make it into the playoffs. Then you have other teams that you kind of have to worry about, like maybe they're going to take that next step, like the Kings or something like that. So, I don't know. This is going to be a very pivotal year for this team, man. This is going to be a very pivotal season for the Warriors. Um, I think this is going to be almost a career-defining season too, a little bit for Curry, because if he's able to take this team on his back and hopefully he's able to withstand the rigors of the season and he's able to carry this team to the playoffs, I think that pushes him, at least on my list, it will push him in the top 25. I already got Curry like top 30. I'd probably move him a couple more spaces. That's just my opinion. Tell me what you guys